most important part of this era is the sunglasses right now. You know that I had to walk like an hour and a half to get here, right? Because I don't have a car? Like, why'd you send me in the middle of the woods? And why is there a green screen in the middle of the woods? I know remote locations exist, but this is a little ridiculous. Cooking Mama is the first single from Daiquiris.
He said the thing! He said the title of the project! Yeah!
Which is the summer EP that we're working on right now. This EP started as a mixtape, but now it's become a more conceptualization of summer. Because the song is called Cooking Mama, I thought it would be funny to try my very best to not mention anything about food. Just because. You good, Joel? Okay, this is not a bit anymore. The basement door just like opened by itself. Sorry about that. I thought I saw my dog in the middle of the woods. I don't ask me. I don't know. Anyways, I was thinking about making like a summer project because a lot of my music's very dark and depressing. So this project is the opposite of that. Trying to actually be positive for once in my music. And that's been hard. That's been really hard. So me and Purple teamed up and we're making the summer EP. Purple being the producer, me being like the songwriter, lyricist kind of thing. I'd say a big influence for me right now is Perry Mason, just in like every aspect of music. I think sonically, vocally, I've been like trying to figure out me. And I can do a lot of things, but I really like how Perry Mason does his vocals. And I've been trying to figure out what that means for me. But shout out Perry Mason. Perry Mason is an incredible artist. So the name Cooking Mama kind of just came out of nowhere. It's a combination of two different beats. It samples Cooking Mama, so that's mostly where the name comes from. It's also just a fun name, and I wanted like some fun names for this project. I wanted to call the song like Thunderstorm because it's a two-part song. The first part is like the thunder, like the happiness, right? And then all of a sudden the storm rolls in, and you get the storm part. But Cooking Mama just sounds better. So the first part of the song is like being outside, and then the second part is having to go back inside because there's a storm. There's been a lot of tornado warnings and stuff, and you gotta watch out for that. That's like a serious thing, right? Be like, hey, it's summer, I want to be outside, but at the same time, if there's a storm, we're going back inside because we're gonna be safe. 3x just for the length. Up next, won't hesitate. Sleeveless best need a break. Aim for the best instead of take. So this was actually part of the verse, but then I just made it like a chorus because I liked the sound of it. 3x signifies like t-shirts. I love wearing oversized shirts. So 3x t-shirts. That's something that fits me personally, and it took me a while to realize like what fits me. And that's kind of the epitome of the music. It's taken me a while to figure out what style and what genre fits me as an artist. Need a break is pretty obvious. I need a break from all the negativity, all of just like the bad weather and everything, because winter's rough on me. So need a break from that. But if it's still winter for you, buy the CD. I'm just trying to be my best self, right? I'm not trying to be number one rapper, number one music artist. No, I don't care about that. I'm just trying to be the best version of myself. At the end of the day, I'm just trying to make the best music I possibly can, whether or not people like it. Because people clearly don't like it according to the comment section. Fighting the void in the summer, anger annoyed I was in such trouble, need caffeine make a double, jumping blocks that have stumbled. It's the thing of like, yeah, the weather is still nice, but like internally you're still dealing with stuff, so because of that, it kind of just doesn't process correctly. And I'm trying to actively fight that with this project. I'm an angry person. I've always been an angry person, and the past 2 years made me realize that. So, instead of being angry, I'm trying to channel that into music. Vent, write, but man, I need my caffeine. I love coffee. Coffee's great. Man, I love it. Overdose on the serotonin, made a home right up a phone. Shed the hoodie down the boogie, shoes no goodies, don't believe in group A's. Instead of being super negative, I'm trying to be super positive, basically. I love wearing hoodies, but it's summer, so I gotta pull out my summer fit. Listening ears, whispering fears, change to a geared, yearning for years. Lifting weights, feeling great, mind awake, asleep, hate. Go outside all the time, always try to get by. There's a lot of voices in my life, and I'm trying to escape that. Trying to put asleep all the hate that I've had in my heart, and I'm trying something different. World is a mental society's blunder, leading under my set of wanda. No fight to love a hood of brothers, hand and mothers, bridging asunder. I've been put in a very interesting position in my life as a mentor for various people. And that alone is just a lot of pressure, to process and to figure out. Growing up, I was always known as like the mother hen of the group. People would do a bunch of things and I would be there to make sure everything was okay. So that's kind of where that came from. Eating clean, rest in peace. Anti-greed, feeling free. Wanna be just me. Turning green to feed. Remember shot while it's hot. Try to stop for a mop. People watch but say nothing, cause they'd rather just rot. I was eating clean and now it's summer. And I've fallen off on that a little bit. I wrote this a while ago, actually. But I'm still trying to be better about, like, taking better care of myself, for sure. And there's a lot of greedy people out there. Not going to name names, but, I mean, you know who you are, right? I mean, oh, man, I'm trying so hard to not be a part of that at all. But in the capitalistic society that we live in, like, you have to make money. That is inescapable. And people, I literally got a comment recently because I mentioned money. People are so fickle and so sensitive about money. And I don't get it personally. For me, it's just another tool that I can use to live. Like, it's not that complicated, people. Like, I don't understand why all of a sudden you mention money, everybody comes out of the woodworks and starts eating you alive. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's not that deep, bro. We all gotta make money. We all gotta get paid. We all gotta pay rent. I literally mentioned that multiple times in a song of how trying to pay rent, but I'm making like no money from music. So, trying my best here. But that's the dichotomy, because I'm not greedy. Like, I'm not entitled. It would just be nice to get paid for all the hard work I'm putting into making art. It's that simple. It's not that complicated. I'm just trying to be me, but I find myself being jealous of other artists who are there already, right? And that's something I've been dealing with me personally. Like, I am a jealous person. I'm not entitled, but I definitely am jealous. And I'm trying so hard to be better about that. I was a janitor for years, and that was one of the darkest parts of my entire life. Or not darkest, but maybe most depressing. And I learned a lot in that span. So, like, shout out to everybody who does, like, night shift and is a janitor. I feel you. I've been there. I know exactly what it's like. And it sucks. It honestly sucks. It was the worst job I ever had. Not because of the people. Just because of, like, the work. It's hard. Cleaning up after people you don't even know for hours upon hours. I was cleaning, like, 3 different buildings. And funnily enough, now I feel more like a cooking mama than a janitor. So that's also another reason for the name. Brain rot in our society is so prevalent. I keep saying it. I'm trying so hard to make art. I'm trying so hard to not make slop on the internet. I'm trying so hard to make actual digital art. Sometimes physical. Buy the CD. Sometimes, like, I'm just trying to make art. I'm trying to make good stuff. Like, I'm really trying here. I'm really trying everything I can think of. I'm doing animations. I got a costume, I got all these things, and I'm trying to make a story. There's a storyline. Pay attention. So, it's just one of those things where I'm just trying to make good stuff, and I'm just trying to find my audience. I don't have an audience right now. I've been doing this for 5 years, and I still don't have an audience. I'm trying to find you, I'm just trying to find, like, like-minded people who like independent art and who appreciate when an artist is trying to do something different, that, like, actually stands out.
I love the Euphoria soundtrack. I never watched the show, probably never will, but the soundtrack is just magnificent. Labyrinth cooked hard on it. It's really a shame they took him off for season 3. Just not the same without him, My favorite song from it is probably Still Don't Know My Name. Hi, I'm in love with music. Wanna suck the FL logo. Will you do the same? Am I sweet enough? Or heck no. This line is a reference to the song Jawbreaker by Sir Abe and Envy. in which Envy says, "In love with music, wanna make out with my dog." And I find that relatable. I specifically chose FL Studio because A, it's the DAW I use, and B, not many other DAWs have suckable logos like FL does. How come my friend has Jason Mraz on their playlist and shits on rock music? I think they're Elmo. I am not a fan of Jason Mraz, his music at least. I'm sure he's a great person. But the ukulele stuff, I just never connected with it. I'm sure millennial and Gen X moms love it, but I don't fall into any of these categories. What does Elmo have to do with this? Well, fun fact, Jason Mraz was a musical guest on Sesame Street. And which character from Sesame Street has a burning hatred towards Zoe's pet rock? I rest my case. Listen up, bruh. I like my rap experimental and my prog brutal. Both me and Illy love experimental music. Everything that's niche and out of the ordinary, give it to me. I like my rap experimental, well, that's just experimental hip-hop in general. Like JPEG Mafia, Danny Brown, Clipping, Billy Woods, you know the vibes. Both me and Illy are huge on JPEG Mafia. Peggy is a big influence on both our music. We owe a lot to him. And brutal prog is a subgenre of progressive rock that is, by the name, if you couldn't guess, brutal. Some notable artists of that genre are Black Midi, Lightning Bolt, Hella, Ground Zero a little bit, you know the vibes. I'm a jumbuck, but tonight I'll be your dog poodle. According to Thesaurus and the Google AI overview, a jumbuck is an Australian word for sheep, or an Australian breed for sheep. And I am a sheep. In this context, dog is used in a sexual way. People sleeping on me? Hold on, let me talk to them. People sleeping on me? Hold on, cockadoodle. Not much to say about this one. The song ends with two samples, the first one being from a Jaden Animations video in which she speedruns Cooking Mama 2 for the Nintendo DS and complains about the mango pudding. And the second one is just a straight up voice line from Cooking Mama 2 for the Nintendo DS, in which you get a perfect score. I don't know. Ellie, can you confirm?
So that was the first part of Cooking Mama. This is the second part of Cooking Mama right here.
Right.
Free from mind connected, vibe free from by no a positive vibe. Don't care about rap, just next step, try and invest on a quest. No point in being sad, don't care about a trend. Buy 100 grand and melt in the sand. In time for storm, blankets are warm. Out to reborn, consume all the lore. A lot of my lyrics, if you look at them, they're very, very dense. I say a lot in such little time. There's a lot to go over here. The vine, if you know, you know. I'm trying to be free of all this negativity because I'm connected to the one true vine. If you know, you know. And it's so obvious if you actually read my lyrics, like what I believe. It's so obvious, right? I don't even need to say it. I'm just trying to appreciate this summer journey. Sometimes all you can do is just take the next step, right? All these people are trend hopping. I'm trying to essentially make a trend. I'm trying to be the next trend because I'm not trying to like do what other people are doing. I'm trying to be myself, you know? So if you see people with a skull mask and sunglasses and a Hawaiian shirt, you know that I started that, okay? Buy 100 grand, it melts in the sand. So it's not a literal 100 grand. It is a candy bar. There is a 100 grand candy bar. So that can melt in the sand. That's just a fun way of saying that. This is the part in the song where it becomes obvious that we went from outside to inside. Astrology, sign is hydrangea, flowers but white to blue, constantly changing. Passions and tragedies all framed up. Dynasty, heritage, all less stuck. I'm actually really proud of this part of the verse. So in Japan, there is a deeper meaning to hydrangeas, right? There's different colors of hydrangeas, right? And each color signifies something different. So I was playing with that a little bit. White hydrangeas, blue hydrangeas. If you look into it, it's actually kind of interesting. But basically they mean heartfelt emotion and apology. So blue, white, pink, and purple all have different meanings, right? So white to blue, all right? So white is vanity and boasting. So white to blue, constantly changing, also signifying that the hydrangea, my feelings, are also constantly changing. Blue means apology, gratitude, and understanding. I grew up in a religious household. That's what the dynasty heritage line symbolizes. And there's still parts of that I have trauma from. So, not going to get into it, but like, religious trauma is something I talk about constantly. So if you have religious trauma, hey, I'm the artist for you, basically, you know. It's okay to exist last night, not trying to be happy about my life, storm or believing fast asleep, cause babies, brave and sing. Waking up with the sun takes a turn, trap from run. The Exit 8 film was fantastic. That's a reference to that. Shout out to that film. That is a great film. Oh my gosh. If you like psychological horror, oh, it's a fun time. So I was shouting out that film partially because it's a good film. I'm just trying to be positive, you know, going forward, at least in this season. I'm just trying to be better about that. I'm trying to have my own inner peace while the storms are raging outside my house. But even that, I still have some like internal things that I'm like running through, you know what I mean? This is a long song, oh my gosh. Being happy is a challenge, half a decade of marriage couldn't fix a horse's carriage, harder than sleep to be valiant. I've been married for almost 5 years now, and I'm still dealing with my own stuff. You know, just because you are with someone doesn't mean your life is perfect, doesn't mean everything is fixed. You're still dealing with stuff and struggling. They're still dealing with stuff and struggling. Like, you have to also learn how to be independent, especially if you're like away from that person for a little bit. You gotta learn how to function as a human being with or without them. And you gotta have some foundational work there in order to have like an actual successful relationship with someone else. But even with that foundation, like, you're gonna run into trouble, you're gonna run into issues and situations. It's gonna happen. That's like inescapable. But you just gotta learn how to adapt to that and learn how to process that better instead of like lashing out or, being emotional or stuff that's like more along the negative. How can you turn that into a positive? And if you can't, how can you better respond to the issues? Men on a beach like stallion, ignore while it is tragic. Hindsight isn't advantage. Thunder ethereals clashing. You know that horse meme, the man meme horse thing? So that's one layer, right? You have the horse man meme. Another layer is BoJack Horseman. If you know, that's 2 layers, right? And then I'm also on the beach in the project. So that's 3 layers deep in one line. Triple entendre. I can do those on occasion, you know? Stuck in the cranium, small fish aquarium, sober, complaining, and death to comparing us. I said earlier that I'm a jealous person. I'm trying so hard not to compare myself to other artists, even though I have this influence from so many different artists. I'm trying to still pave my own way and have my own sound. Heartless needs squaring out, freelance's wherewithal, positives magical, mental field marigold. Shout out freaking Kingdom Hearts! Bro, Kingdom Hearts is one of the best video games of all time, and if you haven't played it, you are missing out. It's so good. Kingdom Hearts 2 is my favorite Kingdom Hearts of all time. I don't know if I've referenced Kingdom Hearts before in a song, but I should have. And if I haven't, there's the Kingdom Hearts shout out. I love to reference a bunch of stuff I love, whether it's games and artists and stuff. I've referenced JPEG Mafia in my music. I've referenced Galley Arsonist in my music. I haven't referenced Perry Mason yet. I'm still trying to figure out how to work that in somehow. I guess vocally, I'm kind of referencing him a little bit. And also just with the stuff I've been doing on Instagram is very Perry Mason coded or Galley Arsonist coded. I don't know. I'm just trying to do my own stuff, but obviously a shout out to these people who are huge inspirations to me. I'm also a freelancer. That's how I actually get paid. So since music doesn't pay me, I have an actual freelance job. So that's what I actually do for money. So what's great about that is that I can do whatever I want for music because I don't have sponsors. I'm not getting paid for the most part for music. So I can do whatever I want, right? And that freedom alone for creativity is so important to me. And I value that like heavily. Mismatched socks, running out of luck, Lily Emmett stock, photo for your stock, negativity rots, attempted to block, heading to stop, tons of self-mock. I'm my own worst enemy, basically. I feel like a lot of my songs are just self-diss tracks. And then I make the occasional actual diss track about somebody or a corporation that I don't like Balenciaga. Oh my gosh, they're not a good company. And if you've been around for a few years, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Because I'm trying to stand up to all these injustices that I see, and it's hard to, process. So I gotta talk about it. So I gotta write about it to fully process what's actually happening, you know? Constantly fight generational trauma, bathing in like get away from the drama, gaining new sight when I became a father, multiple lies on the speech near the water. I do be a father. That's funny because when Purple was listening to the song, he was like, "You're a father?" I'm like, I've referenced this multiple times. Protege was a previous project, and that was about becoming a father, right? That was that whole project, and that was like a year or two ago. So it has been known that I am a father. I don't make that super well known because I think privacy is a huge thing on the internet and it needs to be valued heavily. So, yeah. But even though I am a father, I still have this like internal need to create stuff and be creative. So I'm trying every opportunity I can to like jump on that, right? And to just create, you know? Like make some art. Sun always kissing the skin, lavender painting the sky. So has got enemies always to scan. Whether the weather ends up in a scorch, ignore all the elders preaching the scrolls. When we were young, we would do what we're told, forgetting the fact that we'll be just as old. Time to enjoy life now that we have grown. Elder Scrolls, shout out Elder Scrolls. That's another game series I love. I played Skyrim so much as a kid. Like, oh man, Skyrim is so good, and I like Elder Scrolls Online. I have a few issues with it, but for the most part, I think it's pretty fun still. It reminds me a lot of Skyrim, which is good. There was a previous project called Cotton Candy Sky that I did years ago, and that's the same concept as like the lavender sky, like the pink sky. If you've ever seen a pink sky, like a pink reddish sky, it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Sora, Kingdom Hearts, obviously, right? I love Kingdom Hearts. I shouted it out multiple times in the song, which I forgot about actually. Say whatever I want, that's why there's no income, respecting the culture of punk by not giving in a rub. So I love punk music, I love rap music, and I'm trying so hard to be another guest in rap music, punk music kind of thing. I don't own rap music, I don't own punk music. A lot of these artists are not educated on the origins of this music, and I'm trying so hard to pay respect to a bunch of different artists that I appreciate, like Kendrick, like Tyler the Creator, like all these people. Clips, shout out Clips. Clips is great. I don't want to be disrespectful. I'm still trying to process how do I be respectful when I rap. You know what I mean? I don't want to take somebody's art form as my own. That's why I've coined the term punk hop, because it's my own thing. Right? You could classify me as a rapper. You could classify me as a rap artist. I see myself just as an artist, straight up, who can do a lot of different things because I'm very versatile in that way. So I wouldn't consider myself a rap artist, even though that's what I do a lot of the time. I consider myself a musician. I consider myself an artist. And I sometimes, like, use those tools for my music, but I don't own those tools. I did not create those tools. I'm not the origin of those tools. And I think you need to be educated on like how this music genre came to be. And I think that's really good to like educate yourself on that if you're going to participate in said art form, right? So I'm just trying to be another guest in the face of like rap, you know, in the face of music as a whole. But at the end of the day, I'm just trying to be an artist. I'm just trying to be a musician. Give me a lump sum or something, done much unscheduled, bunch of stuff working, don't fun. This goes back to freelance work. Dude, the past month I lost my job, and I've been struggling ever since to try to find something that replaces the thing that paid me a salary essentially. So that's been hard. So I've been struggling with that a lot. Storming so much that the moon's looking hazy, trying to ignore all the bad I've been hating, preaching the love from a savior is draining. Under the days, all the worries be draining. Savior, obviously Jesus Christ. I blasphemy. You've heard blasphemy, right? You know about the Pharisees. You know about Jesus versus the Pharisees. That whole thing is really interesting. A lot of people say they're Christians, but don't act like Christ. That's it. It's not that complicated, people. If you're a Christian and you don't act like Christ, guess what? That's blasphemy. Just saying. I'm just saying, right? And I'm also, it's so hard because I'm not trying to throw stones at other Christians. That's not at all what I'm trying to do. But when I see injustice, I have to talk about it, right? When I see people acting like Pharisees, I'm like, hey, stop. What would Jesus do? I'm just saying, it's not that complicated. People overcomplicate this. It's not that complicated. So I don't know. I'm trying to be a good Christian, a good Christ follower. I'm trying to follow Jesus and the ways of Jesus the best way I can. It's that simple. It's not that complicated. The distinction, though, is that I don't call myself a Christian artist. I am a Christian who is an artist, right? I don't make Christian music per se. But a lot of my songs are non-explicit because that's how I write. And if it is explicit, it's because I have a feature on the song. So, but if it's just me, then yeah, it's not explicit. It's pretty clean. I'm not a Christian artist. I am a Christian who makes art. Just had an epiphany. I love my life so proprietor symphony. You work 9 to 5. I'm tripping on ecstasy, feeling a vibe on audible daiquiris mixed on silver time. Sole proprietor. I'm a sole proprietor because I'm a freelancer. I do everything myself. That's just how I roll. I'm not actually tripping on ecstasy. This is more of a metaphorical, symbolic thing of ecstasy as a feeling rather than the literal drug, because I don't do drugs. I'm sober. I've been sober since October. I've been sober for a while, and that was a conscious choice because at the end of at the end of Protege, I made a song called Shots, where I was doing a bunch of shots and doing a song, and man, that was rough because I was processing that, I'm going to be a father, what do? So since then, I've been trying to be sober, trying to not drink, which I'll actually talk about that on a future song on this project. But yeah, I'm trying to feel good about myself without the use of drugs. I've never actually done drugs before, to be clear. So there's that. My thing was alcohol for so long. Like, oh my gosh, dude. I did not realize it was a problem until I was drinking a lot more often than I thought I was, and because it was in the house, and then I got rid of it. No longer in the house, not drinking alcohol, especially this year. I kind of made a commitment that I'm not going to drink at all this year. So I've been pretty good about that. So trying to stay sober. You can be sober but have fun, right? It's actually pretty easy. Like I just play video games, you know. This EP is going to be like 6 tracks long. It's going to be great. Summer vibes. If you liked Rocket Ship as a song, you're going to love this project. It's going to be so good. I'm excited for it. I already have 3 songs recorded. I have 3 more to record, 3 more to write too. But yeah, no, this is going to be a fun summer vibe. It's going to release hopefully mid-July, so in a few months. And yeah, so thank you for having me on. And I would like to go play Kingdom Hearts.